Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ ATS Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. Good to have you all here. Yeah. Today is Wednesday already. Yeah, making it through. Ba, 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 ba.
Before you know, it's going to be December 18th, Virginia.
I believe you. I couldn't believe it was summer. It was just February. What happened?
Corona.
Yeah.
Corona took a good part of the spring up,
It took
man.
a chunk of my life.
I had a conversation yesterday with Randy, our program director, and she was like, okay, so what do you think is going to be the back half now of 2020? Because front half's been something, from coronavirus to protests.
So there wasn't, I couldn't find anything on it, but I actually Googled years that started off terrible that ended great.
Okay.
And I couldn't get anything, but it did remind me, it's a boring, I'll make it really quick, Virginia. There's a Hall of Fame pitcher named John Smoltz.
Okay.
And I loved him growing up as a kid. I loved watching him pitch. He played for the Atlanta Braves. He had a year in the beginning half of the year, I think he lost 9, 10, 11 games. He had a shitty first half. Then he sat down with a psychiatrist and had one of the best second halves of a baseball season anyone has ever seen before. Let's hope we have a John Smoltz second half. That wasn't too long, right? I gotta dial it back 20
I feel like
seconds.
maybe you could have cut a little bit out of there.
If perception is reality, it was long.
Yeah.
I was trying to be positive. I was trying to.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think that it could be interesting. Now, there are two things that draw a little concern. Hurricane season for us here in South Florida, considering that we are I think we're on our third named storm, which usually doesn't happen until about the middle of August.
Right?
Here we are the 1st of June, so that is a little telling, and they're predicting a busier than normal season. So it depends upon hurricane season, and the other thing that's got me slightly concerned for some reason is the presidential election. So
that's going on too.
That will be coming up. That will be escalating quickly. So as soon as we de-escalate some of the protests, and we've had that conversation, then I believe that the ramped up conversation will be the presidential election. So we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? So I hope for the best. And it would be nice to see a great end to 2020.
Well, I've been thinking about my panic room, and I'm going to make that thing real cozy. I'm actually very relaxed about making my panic room.
The thought of a panic room does relax you.
It is. It's basically like a man cave.
It is. Yeah, it's really the same concept, but it's not a bad thought. A refuge, a place that you can go where everything in there is something that just makes you emotionally feel good and safe.
That's how I designed my living room for the Weird Whatever podcast.
Yeah.
It's a little studio, and
Right.
It's got all my little knickknacks in there. And it is relaxing just to sit there.
Yeah.
I surrounded by stuff that gives me either peace or inspiration.
I think everybody should really kind of have that refuge in your home, because your home should be your refuge, in a place that when you just need to get away from it all, you can go and sit there. Maybe it's got a cooler with your favorite beverage in there, and you got video games or whatever it is you do, a nice soft blanket, that kind of stuff, and you're just like, okay, I feel great. This is my favorite spot.
Isn't that one of the coziest moments when you get into bed and you're watching something awesome? You've got food in the refrigerator, and you know you don't have work. Like nothing immediate.
It's a good feeling,
morning.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
I love that feeling.
Yeah.
Gotta chase that feeling.
It's nice. Yep. Love it. Well, we got some emails to get to here. Thank you for sending them in to mail@kvjshow.com. Lauren sent an email titled, "You Can't Ask That." Says, with everything going on, I wondered if you guys would consider a kind of specialized podcast segment. There is a segment on Facebook that I have always found very eye-opening called You Can't Ask That. It has people submit questions they are too afraid to ask, and a panel answers them. I know you all did a follow-up and a Q&A with the transgender female listener. I learned so much and was so grateful for honest insight. I feel like if people could ask questions without the fear of offending someone, there would be so much more understanding. Clearly, the pressing topic of the day is racism, but this could go so much further. Mental health, disabilities like autism and Down syndrome, all LGBTQ issues. You all seem to have a knack for being able to have open, honest, and unfiltered conversations, and I think that could do so much for people being able to understand things outside their own circumstances. I love that idea. It might get to that. I like for our show to be that kind of place where we can have those kind of discussions.
I think it is. That's kind of how Weird Whatever is too. Kind of just to have your opinion. Let's talk it out
and listen it out.
Yes.
Because not everybody has the same story, and there's a lot of stories out there that you haven't heard that maybe you need to hear.
Yeah, I would like to probably bring more people on. Yeah, that was a great example that we got in there. I learned so much about the transgender process from all the conversations that we had through that, and it was just great to be able to ask questions. And it's nice to be able to have somebody, too, that on the other side of it realizes that, in a sense, you're ignorant to their story. And you're going to ask questions that may be like, ooh, but it's just because you don't know.
It also takes somebody to be cool and patient enough to answer questions and not be offended and be flexible.
That's what I'm
with
saying.
their thinking.
Allow me to ask these questions because you may be going, okay, that's an ignorant question. And yes, it is. Ignorance really is the lack of understanding.
I also noticed, too, people ask those kind of questions, just deep questions on social media, and I feel like when you write something out and put on social media, it's got a different feel to it when you actually are talking to a human. You can pick up on things when you're in a room with somebody and speaking with them. So many things get misconstrued on social media where people fucking go after each other's throats, and a lot of times there might not... I think people get offended or defensive on, and I'm talking about all things on social media, where maybe someone's just asking a question and not trying to be a dick.
Yes. Yeah, it would be nice to see a platform where people go and they try to gain understanding. Pretty much every social media platform is a place where people go to try to win arguments, and you just don't win arguments on social media. It doesn't happen. You know, it's not like everybody walks by or walks away and be like, yep, you won that, drop the mic, bam, you nailed it. I've never seen that happen one time on social media.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching this one fight on social media because I knew both the people, and they went back and forth. I shit you not. I looked at the timestamp. It was a 7-hour long going back and forth. Well, fuck this and fuck that and fuck you. I mean, it just was so over the top, and the energy wasted.
It is.
It is.
A waste of energy, and you're also just stirring up negative energy. You're not going to win anything. It's just the kind of stuff I wish people would stop engaging in because it's not doing anything good.
The energy.
You're smarter than that. Hopefully, look at it and go, wait a minute, what am I doing? Hold on a second.
Oh, then I was pissed off at myself because I'm like, you're wasting energy because you're reading this bullshit.
They got you.
Damn it.
Amy had sent an email, said racism conversation from Tuesday. I am the mom of a 13-year-old. She went to a largely Hispanic school through 3rd grade. We had to move, and the new school was now largely African-American. My daughter is an alabaster white redhead. In 4th grade, she was bullied a lot, but really didn't talk about it. 5th grade, she was bullied, and anyone else who talked to her was too. Again, not communicating any of this. Cue the Parkland massacre, and the very next day I got a call from her principal. A substitute teacher had found a list of other students' top kill list. And I believe her daughter was on it. For the record, white people are also the victims of racism. And my point is that racial discrimination and prejudice come from all colors, aimed at all colors. None of it is acceptable. And no matter what your color is, it hurts and it changes you and how you interact. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And that's why it's going to take everybody on the same page. All the races doing the same thing.
You got to be kind to one another, man.
Yeah. It's. I've seen the comment a lot. It's everybody against racism, and that's really what it is. And, you really have to come into the discussion with the right frame of mind, too. If you come in it and you're trying to, I get it. Like I said, I'm going to have more of a discussion, and I understand. I think, some people have been there. Maybe at some point in my life, I was there, too, where you feel like someone is trying to call you out and make you feel bad for having a certain color of skin and the privilege that you have. And, you get defensive on some of those things. And that's why, for my white friends and our white listeners, I would just say, don't go in with that. Yeah, there will be some people that try to, make you feel guilty for that, but you are what you are and you've had what you've had. It's not really of anything to your own. It's just try to understand the situation that is this. And I know some people get really upset, when they talk about Black Lives Matter, and I've heard that a bit. In fact, there was an announcer in the NBA for a team, and a player had asked him, and he tweeted back to him that, he asked him about Black Lives Matter, and he says, well, you know what, all lives matter. The guy wound up losing his job for that. And I think that sometimes people hear the Black Lives Matter and it puts them on guard. And there was a sign that I saw with one of the protesters, and it kind of lays it out to help you understand a little bit more. And I as a white person, had to understand a little bit more, because you're like going, okay, what is this, a ranking system? No, it says we said Black Lives Matter. We never said only Black Lives Matter. We know that all lives matter. We just need your help with Black Lives Matter, for Black lives are in danger. And that's really all the call is for. It's not a ranking system. It's not saying that yours don't or blue lives don't matter, whatever people are saying that. That's why I think people are always trying to keep score in this whole thing. And it's not about keeping score. It's not a rank and file system. It's not, well, they did that, we did this. You have to ignore all that stuff. Those are all the distractions on the periphery of this. We have to keep a clear focus to say that the goal is unity and everybody coming together. And all the races have to police their own. That's why for me, like I had said today, some of my examples were, if you hear somebody that's stepping out of line, just be like, don't do that. You're not helping the situation.
You're not helping any of us. And don't think that I am going to be over here with you participating in that kind of language. I'm going to stand up to it and call it out and say, it's not cool.
Yeah.
Go someplace else.
That's it. Yeah. So that's why, when you talk about the podcast that she had asked, I am going to do something, because I know that not everybody wants to hear it. So I'm going to do something that's going to be specialized. But for instance, my trainer, I was blessed with having an African-American trainer for 3 years. And so that's how I really started to hear some of these stories that I never had, because, I grew up in a white area. Yeah, a majority of my friends are white. I got, some black friends, but we don't, when I hang out with them, we sit down and have a beer, we talk about whatever in life. I don't get the stories.
The deep racial inequality.
I had never, until my trainer, had never really had those kind of discussions. And then when he started telling me some stories and I started asking him questions, because I knew we were in that place and we had that kind of good friendship.
Sure.
That I was like, wow, man, I never had that perspective before. And so what I'm going to do, and through a couple series of some different shows, is just have those people tell those stories that I've heard. It really helped me grow as a person, helped me understand it a lot better. Because I'm probably like where a lot of people are now. They're a little defensive or abrasive with what they're hearing and with what they're seeing. And it changed me. And it made me understand the situation better. And my opinions always are changing, because I'm always learning something new about a situation. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know some people try to call you a flip-flopper, but it's like, to me, the more you learn, it just shows that, okay, I've got a different perspective on this now because I sought out some new knowledge.
Well, the one thing I've never understood is when someone tries to get somebody for saying something they said 15 years ago. Look, people definitely change in 15 years. They should change.
Well, you could get me on something I said 15 days ago. That's just the way it is. You just are always looking and learning.
I'm not even talking about something as even heavy as what we're talking about. Just people can change their opinion on shit.
Yeah. They evolve.
You should.
Whether it's, if you even, I used to love ranch. I fucking hate ranch. Shit changes.
Shout out to LaToya Ratliff. She was peacefully protesting last Sunday when she was shot in the head by the Fort Lauderdale police with a rubber bullet. She is injured but alive, thank God. She loves your show, especially Jason and Kevin's hair.
Aww.
Now, Kevin's hair as its own entity?
It is, yeah. It's not me.
Well, the guy's okay.
Yeah.
But the hair,
yes.
I'm a fan.
That's amazing.
That's it. So, shout out to LaToya. That was a story, actually, was in the Miami Herald, too. So, yeah. Thanks for going out there. And there's been some crazy stuff.
There has been.
Yeah, there has. The COVID extra charge, Melissa sent this in, said my daughter-in-law went to go get her nippers pierced yesterday.
Oh, my.
And they charged her double.
She got her nipples pierced?
Apparently,
Some
yeah.
people like that because there is nerve endings on your nipples. I get it. You guys don't like nipple play. I can tell.
I don't want it pierced.
But some people-
I'm not saying it's terrible to caress.
But some people like it too because it helps in the bedroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love how you always teach us about freaky stuff.
I don't even know if that was freaky back like in '98.
Nipple piercing?
You old?
I'm vanilla.
You are vanilla AF. My God.
She paid $128. They told her it was because they're risking their safety. They also didn't tell her till after they did it. I told her they were lucky it wasn't me. I wouldn't mind paying a little extra, but double. And the fact that they didn't tell her before is really messed up.
That is.
Yeah, that part I don't like. You need to have disclosure.
Come on, guys. That's shady business. And if somebody does that to you, you should talk about it on social media.
It is the great equalizer now, is it not?
Well, I mean, it helps. I'll say this. If you are truly in the right and the business is truly in the wrong, and I would say doubling your price is truly in the wrong, then calling them out on social media may make them reconsider their position.
I tried to do that over the weekend. I called Facebook out on Facebook.
Good luck.
It didn't work.
Now
Really?
you're just going to flag all of our algorithms.
No.
And no KVJ stuff's ever going to come up.
It was my personal. I wouldn't do that on KVJ. I got lippy on my Facebook, but I called out
Oh, they know you're with us.
Zuckerberg, and yeah, that son of a bitch.
Did you say it wrong like you just did?
Yeah, I think I did probably. I say it all wrong, Virginia.
Zuckerberg is not afraid of you at all because you keep calling him
Oh,
Zuckerberg.
Facebook don't sweat me.
Yeah, it was amazing. People were really going off on Facebook last night. I saw that it was trending to delete Facebook. People were very upset.
It drives me up a wall. If you're used to using Facebook, and it's just the stuff they try to block is really annoying. Be consistent is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I could post up my bikini pizza crotch photo. Now it's fucking flagged.
Well, that's your fault for being so sexy.
Yeah, it's true.
I know you're making fun of me, but I actually like the compliment.
Diane from Jupiter's got some info on the overpayment of unemployment benefits. We had an email yesterday. Somebody said, hey, they just deposited some unemployment money in my account. I went back to work. What do I do? Well, she said, I was unemployed about 5 years back, and I had a winning lottery ticket of $1,000, and I had to go to a local lotto office to receive the winning payment. After filing out the claim form or filling it out, they would not issue a winning check until I paid the $400 in overpayment, which I received from the state of Florida.
Oh.
It may not always be the IRS, but some agency will catch up with you.
Interesting.
How about that?
They put you in the system.
Oh,
Yeah.
And if you owe, they're going to get paid.
Yeah,
If you don't owe and they owe you, you can't ever find them.
Chamber can't prove who he is.
those
They
son of
owe
a-
him so much.
The IRS, my gosh, they owe me thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
People, they hear me complain. They think I owe them.
No.
I've done it right. I ain't cheating. I'm not cheating.
Well, I wouldn't say you've done it right.
They.
You are owed money by the IRS. Done it right is a stretch.
You don't know. First of all, DeQuesta, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
You really don't.
You haven't done it right.
I've got someone working on it.
I bet you do.
I do. Investigation.
It's not very convincing.
You like a piece of Swiss cheese. There's a lot of holes over here, Kevin.
Oh, no, I hear you.
I've been eating a lot of Swiss lately.
Swiss is one of my favorite cheeses. I forget how much I love it.
I like to leave my Swiss out, let it sweat, and then put on my sandwich. I know.
Sweaty
I
Swiss.
do. I like sweaty Swiss cheese.
Your sweaty Swiss miss.
Chris sent an email. He said, I don't believe I heard you guys talking about the funniest movie of the year, The Wrong Missy on Netflix.
Oh, because you know why? What's his face is in it? Little short guy.
Rob
I don't like-
Schneider?
Yeah,
Rob
Rob
Schneider.
Schneider.
Is it funny?
I liked it.
Oh, that's right. That's the
I did
David
talk about it. Yeah, I
Spade.
did. Yeah,
Okay.
David Spade is in it.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I watched it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and so we did have some conversation then about it. It had come out. It was #1 on Netflix for a while. The girl who's in it, and her name escapes me, she was very funny in it. Some people were thinking, because she is a little much, that like she gave me anxiety.
Who is it?
I said, I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know. I'm not watching that. As soon as I saw Rob Schneider's mug on the thing, I'm not watching.
You gotta let it go. Although, when I told you that
It's
found...
Lauren Lapkus.
Okay.
Yeah, David Spade, Lauren Lapkus. She was on another TV show. Nick Swardson is in it. It is overall an Adam Sandler's from his Happy Gilmore production company. They do that big stuff with Netflix. Yeah, it was funny. I liked it, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but yeah, Rob Schneider was kind of the weak part of it.
Annoying?
Well, it felt forced. His part in there, and I try to be objective.
Yeah.
When it comes to Rob.
I believe you do, actually.
Yeah,
I know.
Some of his
I tried
stuff,
to, too, man.
Yeah, some of his stuff felt a little bit forced. But, I mean, it was, it wasn't enough that it, ruined the movie. It just...
I wish we could play. I mean, I have it. I don't know if we're allowed to. I don't know if you'd want to play it. But I found that audio of somebody... They were interviewing Rob Schneider.
A local show, you
a
said.
A local show interviewing Rob Schneider and
Yeah.
talking a gang of shit about us.
It was probably Paul, wasn't it?
Nope, it was, can I say?
Yeah.
It was Mo and Sally.
Oh, okay.
And their producer, who was not Curtis, it was Tim at the time.
Yeah.
Rob goes,
Oh, yeah, he hated us.
He starts off, I'm glad not to be attacked in this building, blah, blah, blah. And then Tim gets on the mic, they were just fired. They were just fired. And then he goes into this whole thing. He's like, I love it.
Oh, and now Tim's come back around kissing our ass.
I have all the audio. It's pretty good. Are we allowed to even play that?
We should.
Kevin, it's very funny.
Please play
because
it.
Rob Schneider doesn't let it go. Mo and Sally move on.
Mo and Sally don't want a fight.
Yeah,
no, that's not what they're
No,
about.
absolutely
but
not.
Tim loves a fight, and Rob Schneider loves a fight.
Well, I wasn't
don't deny that, because Rob Schneider loved it.
And Virginia loves a fight.
Well, I wasn't sure if I should even bring it up.
Oh,
because
please
I knew
play it.
It would kick the Hornets.
Yeah, Virginia's going to be all in.
I'm all in.
Well, I just love
Teeth
it
and claws out.
because Rob brought it up 3 different times, and he tries to end the interview with it too. He kept on saying. His big thing was, Howard Stern kept on saying that guy had no talent. No talent whatsoever. Kept on talking about me. And he always says that I'm drunk. I'm like, Rob, you're right.
Yeah, that's kind of partially right.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You got to dance on the grave when you get a chance.
I wish we were drunk more, Rob.
I think the people would like to hear that.
I know I would.
But it's up to Cat. I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know the rules on
Yeah.
all that shit. I'm not trying to start a war
I don't
here.
care about rules. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission. Stop being a puss. Play it.
It's entertaining. I will say that.
Okay. Let me see. We got some new stuff from KFC. They've done something that's controversial. People took a moment from yelling about the protest to yelling about the potato wedges.
KFC has good potato wedges.
Yeah, well, they've started getting rid of them.
Really?
Yeah, and they've been replacing them with normal fries. They've been rolling out their secret recipe fries to some stores already, and soon enough they're going to be in every single store. And apparently social media is just all over it.
I agree with social media. I like their wedges.
Yeah, they are not. It's not being well received. That's tough. I mean, and hey, if you're KFC, and I could get it that maybe they are, looking at sales and like, all right, well, that often happens where people don't buy something and then somebody will get rid of something and then they bring it back and it does great for like about 3 months, and then people are like, oh yeah, I remember why I wasn't ordering these. And then it fizzles out again.
The same thing happened with the barbecue Schneider's pretzels. The little pieces, they don't make barbecue anymore. And to me, that was the best version out of all of their flavors. Gone. I guess nobody was buying it.
Yeah, I've had that too, where I thought everybody in the world loved something, and then it went away. I'm like, how?
That grilled cheese place I always used to go to, I can't even think of it.
Melt?
Melt. It was always packed there. They had a French onion grill, French onion grilled cheese. I would drive there just for that thing.
You know it's special. He's grabbing his titties.
Yeah, he is. Look at him.
And I'm not even kidding you. gone just like they turned into a barbecue joint.
How did they go?
I don't know.
If they were always busy.
They were expensive, though. It wasn't a cheap.
Maybe they were just always busy when you were there and they were just empty the rest of the time.
And maybe my idea of busy isn't busy. I don't know, 4 people in a grilled cheese place.
Well, yeah, that's just it. Because I've had that too, where places have closed. I'm like, I thought they always had a good crowd, but everything is relative to how much you can charge. First of all, how much is your rent? That to me seems to be a big problem for a lot of places.
There's no way it was cheap there.
Yeah. Then what is your price point? Like, how much are you clearing per meal typically? And then how much volume are you doing? And that seems to be the equation of you got to have everything work out right with those 3. And then how many employees do you need to pull it off?
Well, some of those
overhead.
When I hear the rent on some of these restaurants, I mean, I think you were telling me one that was what, $8,000 a month for rent. How many dishes you got to sell to get into the?
That's not even like the highest I've heard. I remember some city place rents that I heard that I was like, what?
You got to be turning and burning tables to make a profit.
And I think I'd read recently there was an article they were talking about Pawn Shop, which has been Monkey Club and Feel Goods and all that, and Cleve. Had put in there because, they're not even to that phase where they can open yet. And I think he's burning through $36K a month. That's his rent.
Jeez.
Holy shit. $36K?
Yeah.
But how much does he make a month?
I remember.
Hopefully more than 36.
I mean, that's pressure.
I think when I was there, because I worked Monkey Club every Saturday night for like 10 years or something like that when we first got to town.
You hated it towards the end.
It became rough. Well, the worst part of it was like the last year or two, because here I am like 34.
Yeah.
Everybody in there is like 18, 19, 20.
And I would just go hide in the DJ booth so I'm not like the old guy still in the club that can't give it up, because there were some older guys than me in the club, and everybody just looked at him like, oh, that guy's so pathetic and sad.
I have had that happen before. It was teen
it's
night.
Tough.
I mean, why was I at teen night? You were there too.
Oh,
there was one that was at like a young 18 to 23 club.
That was terrible.
And we were doing appearances there, and it was awful.
It's a tough thing to be the old guy in the young club.
I didn't even want to walk in.
No.
We did it. We hid. We hid in the booth.
Very uncomfortable. And
I remember that.
I think if I remember right, they would talk, because I would hear them, discussing. I'd be there a little bit sometimes at the end. I think $20K, if they cleared like $20K in a night, that would be a good night. Wow. I think they could.
That's a lot of money.
I think that was kind of the threshold. Yeah.
Okay.
So on a great night, that's what they'd be. So, yeah, I mean, you do that. That would be their best night. And then I think like their second best night would be maybe $12K and then $8K. So, yeah, you could bring in, say maybe, I'm guessing maybe $40K. So you could cover your rent, I think, but then you had employees you had to pay and then everything else.
But you really got to bring in a crowd, though, and your crowd's got to be pretty steady.
That was tough, and then they would pay the radio station. I mean, it wasn't cheap to have the radio station, out there.
Oh, you got to love that. I remember doing a club gig up in somewhere, either in Stewart or Port St. Lucie, and the club guy was barely hanging on to keep his establishment going. And he thought by just hiring me that there was going to be thousands of people. That I think 6 people showed up.
Yeah.
And the entire time.
I think I remember that club.
This cocaine. He was on cocaine. He was mad. Nobody was there. And for 2 hours.
Was it kind of like in a strip mall?
Yes.
Back
and all
in the
he
corner?
did was he yelled at me the entire time. Fucking radio doesn't do shit. More cocaine. More cocaine. Where's the fucking people, Bird? Can't bring people out of it. I'm power drinking just to get through it.
Man.
Oh, it was awful.
Good times. Good times. The same club days, not at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I think we've all probably been there once or twice.
I don't think you dared to go there.
No, I did not go there. That sounds awful. I try to avoid people that are high on coke yelling at me.
When I first got at Wild 95.5, when I first started doing appearances, they sent me to some broke down places.
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we would have like the Treasure Coast clubs and some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Well, I always did. I remember for a while there, I was doing Club Safari on Friday nights and then Monkey Club on Saturday. And I was in that. That was every weekend for a while, like maybe a couple years. And it was it was a tough life.
Yeah, there was this one place in Port St. Lucie. It was a children's clothing store, and I don't know why I was there. And then at the end, there was this big contest. The person who the name I pulled out, or whatever, they won some kind of children's outfit or something. Well, I guess I did the contest wrong. And holy shit, this dad followed me out to my truck and wanted to fight me. I'm like, oh, I don't want to come back to Port St. Lucie. Because I did the contest wrong. His daughter didn't get some dress or something.
Oh, Lord.
It was broke down.
Fun times.
That's a mess.
So this is kind of interesting. I have to look more into this. I'm sure Denny's probably will too. I saw the headline that says scientists have found cannabis residue in artifacts in an ancient temple in Israel. That's pretty fascinating. I don't have a lot of details on that, but I want to look more into that story.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
a weird whatever topic.
Yeah, that you guys could probably do that when you return in June.
Yes, June 17th we're coming back. We have to do kind of a rehaul of our studio.
Okay.
We have a couple of microphones we want to kind of replace, and there's something also wrong with one of the computers.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be back on the 17th of June.
Okay. Yeah, so this could be kind of interesting that it's gone back that far. It says, Israeli archaeologists say they've made a dope discovery.
Oh, they love that headline. They love it.
Yeah, it's in southern Israel, providing the first evidence of the use of hallucinogenics in the ancient Jewish religion. Wow. Okay. They say the discovery from an 8th century BC shrine in Tel Arad.
My whole thing is I would love to find out how people found out these certain things get you high. How did the first person find out, okay, this plant over here.
People like to lick and eat
Yeah,
all
they
kind
do.
of stuff.
You're right.
People are stupid.
Just going around tasting things.
Because you don't know if it's poison.
Well, you know, they would probably find the dumbest around and they go, hey, try this.
Will you get Phil to lick that?
Look that toad.
Yeah, look at
Feel how you feel. I feel fucking weird, man.
All right, give me that toad. I want to lick it too.
You're right.
Give me that toad.
Yeah, that's it. So they do. So there you go. So I'm sure Denny's will want to jump into that. It's another argument for weed. I mean, they were using it in ancient Israel.
But I mean, modern day weed, they've
Stepped it up,
They've
yeah.
really stepped it up. Yeah.
Think it's better than the old Jewish weed.
I just think every month, these weed experts are finding they're dedicated, trying to find new ways to get you higher than you possibly can get high. They're just always trying to find the highest way. What you can do to make the plant do this and do that to get you to that next level.
And now, do you switch it up? Like, do you switch your brand? Is it like peanut butter? Do you switch around?
See, I think if somebody goes to a dispensary, that's the person you need to ask because they have options. If you have a person, a guy, as they say, you get what they have.
You get Jif.
Well, you get what they give
Every
you.
time.
Yeah, that you get what you get.
But if you go to the dispensary, you have like every kind of flavor.
When I went to Oregon, the first one I walked into, it was with my sister. She waited in the car, and these three people, the first thing I said was, I'm from out of town, and I'm from Florida, and I've never been in a dispensary. These three people, it was like a movie. All right, man, well, you came to the fucking right place. We've got exactly what, I mean, he sounded like a stoner, and then this girl comes out.
Stoner/used car salesman.
Yeah, this really hot girl comes out from the back looking like a really hot hippie. Oh, you're a first timer. You're going to love it. Jake knows exactly what he's talking about. We're here to help you. They made you feel so warm and welcome.
Oh, they got the pitch.
They have the pitch.
They know what they're doing.
And then they show you all of these different brands like you're in a candy store. And if you're used to just getting your weed from Dale from down the street, you're like, holy shit. There's
Dale, who looks like he just crawled out from under the trailer.
You're like, cinnamon flavored weed? What?
It's mind-blowing. All right, well, we got another one in us tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will join us for the Thursday KVJ show. Hope you enjoy your day today. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.